once again to the Unofficial Fan Lounge, your place, Unofficial UFL, hosted by this podcast is Uncalled For. I'm Mike Chernovsky. I'll be your host for this and for Uncalled For as well. We have a new Uncalled For coming out this Friday, so be on the lookout for that. But let's talk Week 9 now of the United Football League. We have one more week of regular season and then playoffs, and we go from there. So let's go over those scores. So starting with the Friday night game, played at the Dome, even though it's billed as a home game for San Antonio. St. Louis 39, San Antonio 13. Attendance was 27,890. Remember, the Brahmas played the Battlehawks both games in St. Louis this year. Battlehawks are 7-2, and the Brahmas are 1-8. Our Saturday games, Michigan at Birmingham, the preview to the USFL Conference Championship. Panthers 22, Stallions 26. Crowd was 10,344. And both teams are 6-3. Also on Saturday, with a massive rain delay, Arlington 30, Memphis 12, in front of 2,044. That is pretty bad. But I've seen worse at different sports events. So Arlington is now 4-5, Memphis 2-7. And then the Sunday game, DC at Houston, played in front of 6,684 fans. Defenders 21, Roughnecks 24. So huge upset there, even though the playoffs are already locked up. DC falls to 6-3. And Houston is now 4-5. And we have some teams that have now completed their the home portion of their schedules. So we already did Arlington back in week 7. Birmingham will finish with an average 8,794 fans a game, including 2 where the attendance was over 10,000. So they've dipped quite a bit this year, but still, if you can bring a 10K to your stadium, then even for one game, that's pretty impressive in my book. Houston, 5,712. With the Roughnecks, you need to fire your head coach, bring in someone who knows how to build a winning organization, and get out and try to get some better players. The Roughnecks had no problems drawing in the XFL, but remember the circumstances of these Roughnecks came to be. They were the original gamblers in the USFL, who were the lesser of the two teams, I will point out, and they kept the gamblers roster up. And it's clearly not up to snuff. It's certainly not up to snuff compared to what they were used to with the Roughnecks. And this is the consequence. People stop showing up, and the football is not good. Although it is better than last year. All right, last year they only had one win. So, but still, let's get a new head coach in Houston. And St. Louis Well, in the regular season, averaging 29,537. 37! Which is not bad, but could obviously be better. And that's, of course, over the course of 6 home games this year. So, yeah, not bad. And we have one more week to go, but before we get into the picks for this week, some newsworthy stuff came across our feed this week regarding the league, and that's expansion and relocation rumors. Now, I am on the record saying I am not a fan of relocation, especially because, that's how Battlehawks fans became a thing, was needless relocation. But here's basically what we are learning. So the league is reportedly unhappy with fan turnouts in Birmingham and Houston, with Memphis being on its own island with its ties to FedEx owner Fred Smith. So, Birmingham's numbers could be better, no question about it. But I don't know. I'm not in Birmingham, so I don't know what's going on, everything. But those numbers could be better. Same with Arlington, Houston. Absolutely could be better. I told you how. All right, get a new head coach and get someone who knows how to run a football team. Clearly, C.J. Johnson doesn't know what he's doing. Everything. So, address the coaching situation and vastly improve during this off season. Although they have shown improvement this year, I think part of it was starting McClendon at quarterback. That might be where to start. But the league has recently filed for 4 new trademarks, all of them from the old USFL. The Oakland Invaders. They were not a team that was in USFL 2.0, but they were in the original USFL. But it's interesting because we've heard this whole time the league was not interested in doing anything in California because of tax reasons. And also Oakland, there's a reason the Raiders and the A's now left Oakland, and it's because the Coliseum. I have heard horror stories about that place. So that's an interesting one to me. So where would this team play if they do wind up going back? The Philadelphia Stars. Okay, another historic USFL team with a couple of championships. Were part of USFL 2.0 before they were folded, because they were one of those teams that never played in their home city. Alright, so that's an interesting possibility. Where would they play? Would they play in at the Philadelphia Union Stadium? I think Lincoln Financial is probably too big for them. I think they have options in Philadelphia. Then the Tampa Bay Bandits, who were part of the first year of the USFL 2.0 and were dumped in favor of the Showboats, oddly enough. And there's a specific name associated with a possible Tampa Bay team. We'll get to that in a sec. And the other team they filed a trademark for was the New Jersey Generals. Again, never played in their home state, in their home city during the USFL 2.0. USFL 1.0, this is probably the one team I would not bring back because of its association with what happened with the first USFL. Look it up. Spoiler involves a certain person who is now running the United States into the ground. So, and where would they play? Would they use the Red Bull Arena where Red Bull play? Or I don't see MetLife being a possibility for them because it's too large. But we'll see what happens there. And then on the expansion front, the two teams we've consistently heard all into the season for expansion were Seattle and Columbus. Columbus would have to be a whole new team or something. I've heard they procured the name Bulldogs, which harkens back to the old NFL days, like back in the 20s, and so that would be really cool. And then Seattle, we're talking about the return of Trogdor. Sea Dragons fans, if you don't like me characterizing you guys as Trogdor, come up with a logo that doesn't look like Strong Bad. Draw an S, draw a more different S, and use lots of consummate V's. I said consummate V's. Consummate. And realistically, Seattle would be the last XFL 2.0 team you could reasonably bring back. I'm not sure you could bring the Vipers back because of how horrible they were. You could bring the Guardians back, but they were also horrible. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then if 4 new teams are added to the UFL in 26, the likelihood is that the Roughnecks and Showboats would be relocated, according to Mike Mitchell. Now, what's this about Tampa and ownership we're talking about? Well, with Memphis, they already said it was because it would have the backing of the FedEx guy. But with Tampa now, the report is a certain someone would be interested in purchasing a UFL team for Tampa, and that person is one Tom Brady. Yep, he of 7 Super Bowl champions, all 6 for New England, plus his last one with Tampa Bay. He's already a part owner of the Raiders and a part owner of Birmingham City Football Club, for those of you who know English football. The same Birmingham City that us Villa fans were singing about shit on the city tonight. So the report for Brady is that, 7-time Pro Bowl champ Tom Brady is interested in purchasing a UFL club. Already part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, also lives in the Tampa Bay area. UFL recently filed for the Tampa Bay Bandits trademark, and Brady, of course, also now a contributor with the NFL on Fox, which again, Fox is a part owner of the United Football League, and the first game that Tom Brady called was last year's UFL championship, which I think it's safe to say we're not going to see a repeat of that because the Browns stink this year. But we could see Birmingham, absolutely. And that will now bring us to our Week 10 picks. So we'll start with the Friday night game, which is Battlehawks at Defenders. And last time in front of the Bear Snake. And I like us to get some revenge and beat the Defenders on their home turf. And this is, of course, a preview of the XFL Championship the following weekend. We have one Saturday game. It is Houston at Michigan. I like the Panthers to win this one, but clearly we shouldn't count out Houston. We will keep an eye on that one, but I'm picking the Panthers. Renegades Brahmas is Sunday morning. I like the Renegades to win this one. And then the last game of the regular season is Birmingham at Memphis. And even though the Showboats did pull off a overtime victory over the Stallions, I don't think we'll see a repeat performance of that. I like the Stallions to win this one. So good luck to everyone this week. Remember, we have a new Uncalled For coming out later this week as well. And we will be back next week. We'll preview the conference championships, and we will start our power rankings for the 2025 UFL season, starting with the 4 teams that did not make the playoffs. So, thank you for listening, and we will talk soon.